Welcome to FXcast. This is our market analysis for Friday, June 24th, 2011. In each of our videos, we try to come up with high probability trading setups. We'll look at the gold chart and compare it to some of the popular currency pairs. We'll come with a low volatility watch list, an inside bar watch list, and we'll review the economic calendar to see what could affect our open and potential trades. As always, please send your feedback and comments to analysis@fxcast.com. With that, let's pull up the charts. So as usual, we are starting off with the gold chart. Here's our daily chart of gold, and we talked about a couple things. First and foremost, you can see the consolidation we've been in for about a month now, going all the way back to late May. We entered this consolidation range around May 23rd, and here we are on June 23rd, still in this range. And the other thing we mentioned yesterday, you can see we drew this real quick uptrend line just to watch what was going on in the past week or so. And once we broke that and the 20 moving average, we went right on down and we tested the bottom of our range. We also talked yesterday about putting in a doji at resistance is also important. So what we see here is we're bouncing at support. We bounced at the 50 moving average. All that is good. As we come over here to our market profile, we can see that oversold condition once we crossed over, and now we're kind of in the no man's land right now in a neutral zone. But again, what we're doing is we're trading this range until we break out one way or the other. We're going to continue to trade this range. We'll go to the monthly on the daily real quick. And you can see that there is room to come down a little bit more before we really have to be concerned about the uptrend. Now, let's compare that with the Aussie dollar. And here we also see the big range that we're in for about a month. And what we can also see is that it's a little bit weaker, whereas the dollar was going up. We really have sideways to down here on the Aussie dollar, and we can see once again we get another wick down to the 1.04 range, and buyers are finding value. Now, again, what's important about this is that every time we get really below 1.525, but we have our line down here at 1.425, is that this is where buyers are finding value, and that's where you should be looking to buy. Again, we need to take advantage of this range until it's proven wrong. On our market profile, we got a little bit overbought here, a little bit of pullback. We'll see what happens from here. But more importantly, because we're at the lower end of the range, I still be looking to go long, but the 50 and the 20 moving average have been acting as resistance. So for right now, since RSI is in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to recommend sit on hands unless we're at one of the extremes of the range. With the pound dollar, we can see our break of our uptrend line. We can see the break of 1.600 where buyers were finding value continuously. And then, as we've been talking about, eventually we're going to hit the 200 moving average, and we've done that. But the buyers did bring us right back up to the 200 moving average, so this could be holding up its support here, especially if we put in another doji. And on our RSI, on our hourly, we're in the middle of nowhere, so I can see what happens here. Can the buyers keep us above the 200 moving average for a run back up to the top side of our range, or are we going to head lower? Next, we have the euro dollar, and here we're looking at this bigger range. We're watching this downtrend line. We did get to push down, but we pushed down into the area where buyers are finding value, where we have our wicks. And so it's not surprising to see, like many others, the buyers came in and pulled it back into our other range above 1.42. Finally, we're going to look at the euro pound. Here we have our wider range. We put in a doji, so we have to start thinking about this coming to the downside. Resistance is above us. Once RSI gets back up here to overbought, we have to look to go short. Okay, we're just going to kind of review some of the trades we've been watching at. Most of them have already panned out, so we're just going to look at the ones that are still in play. We've been watching the dollar franc. We traded it up. Now we're back in the range, so we're trying to trade this range again of 0.83 to 0.845. Right now, RSI is in the middle of nowhere. You really could just trade RSI on this one as long as it stays in this range. So we're going to continue to watch the dollar franc. We've also been watching the dollar Canadian. We've got an ascending wedge here, uh, and we kind of redrew our lines. And again, we're still waiting for a breakout of this one way or the other. You can see a little vacuum here on the volume profile below 90, 70, 75 down to about 97.45. So there's about 30 pips in here if it can break back into this low volume range. But again, we haven't been able to close above 15 here, so we should be shorting and buying the uptrend line. We also have the dollar yen that we're watching. This is a descending wedge that we can see right here. And so we're waiting for a break below 79.88 or a break above, knowing that we have the 20 to 50. We prefer to trade the downside. We can see how the volume just accumulated here. So we'd like to see it come back down and test where the support is, again down here at 79.88. And finally we have the euro yen, and this is also a descending wedge, and I'm going to take this one here and let's get rid of that, and we'll come in here and draw another support level. So this is basically what we're watching. Get below the 200 moving average, get below 113.40ish, and see if we can trade this to the downside. And just like the dollar yen, we've got the 20 to 50 moving average acting as resistance. For our low volatility watch list, we're putting on Bollinger Bands on a 1 hour time frame, and we're watching the dollar franc and the pound yen. Again, 1 hour time frame, the hourly. Put your Bollinger Bands on to standard deviation and mark the high and low of the upper and lower bands and watch for a breakout. And for the inside bar, we're watching the euro pound. That's where we're marking the high and low of the trading range from Thursday's trading session and watching for a break one way or the other. Let's go to the economic calendar. As we come to our economic calendar, we can see we have business expectations here in Germany. We have a survey that basically is a leading indicator, a surveying what the business production and what their feelings are about the economy. But the big thing here is going to be the GDP. These are probably going to be, for the states, probably going to be revised lower. And so that certainly can have a big impact on the market. We want to thank you for watching and continue to give us the feedback and questions so that we can improve our videos to give you exactly what you're looking for. You can send those comments to analysis@fxcast.com or post to our daily forum. Thanks, guys, and have a great weekend.